It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We're live here at Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 and Bulverde Road. And as the sun comes out, the gardeners are coming out too. So we encourage you up there taking. They've adopted that big ficus. We encourage you to come on by and visit with us, and lots of color to be had. And
there's no more Christmas trees.
No, that kind of saddens
That's
me.
kind of filled up all the space, though, with the cyclamen.
Yeah, there are a lot of cyclamen left, and those are pretty. And let me give the phone number out, and then you can kind of talk, because cyclamen are not just a holiday plant.
Well, and also if you got some Christmas present gift certificates at the nursery, they've all the shrubs and vines and perennials are available too, and just a few thousand annual flowers in full bloom.
Yep. Okay, that number to call with your gardening questions or gardening answers or whatever you got, gardening, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We'll talk about the cyclamen a little bit, because you're a cyclamen lover, and it's not just for the holidays. It's kind of when they come out, but there's you can enjoy them for a while. It sounds like especially if you enjoy them as an indoor plant.
Well, that's an option. That's one that for years that's what cyclamen was used for. But they're beautiful right now. If you get them in full bloom, and they'll stay in full bloom right till it gets too warm, into April usually. And the foliage, continues to live. But the colors are unbelievable. They've got the usual red and white, and then there's a kind of a coral pink, and then there's that that mixed color that is just kind of fascinating that we talked about, Milton, about the for the indoor decoration. That'd be cool. A lot of people are still making visits on for the New Year and for post Christmas, and that this would be an ideal present, just a spectacular, different colored cyclamen to bring it to whoever you're visiting, whether they're at home or at an apartment house or rest home, wherever, because it'll be, they last forever in the house if you can put them a little bit remote from the window, but kind of facing the east side or the south side, and keep them watered. They're not a xeriscape plant, but
a little out of the drafts, out of the cold or air conditioning or fan drafts.
Here, but they're a lot now. Now we're talking about cyclamen.
We're talking about cyclamen, but that's a segue.
But but cyclamen are a lot less sensitive to those conditions than slightly some less sensitive than the poinsettia. What Mark's talking about is our article that we wrote for today in the Express News is about one of the favorite holiday plants, which is the poinsettia, and it's everywhere. If you almost every household gets at least one gift of a poinsettia, and they can, if you don't water them, they don't last a long time. But if you follow some simple steps, they will last at least a year, as long as you want them to last. And you can go to this column in the Express News. Mark's got columns.
I got a couple articles on garden styles essay.
That also talks about how to take care of them.
So what do you get into when you talk about how to take care of them? What are the tips and tricks?
Well, the number one key is watering. It's much easier now than it used to be, because they in the old days, if you let them dry out once, you lost the major impact. It was always a classic story. Yeah. Over the holidays, then you went back to your dentist or to your doctor's office, and they had let the poinsettia dry out, and the leaves are all falling off. And now you got a little more of a chance, but they still need to be watered. And the classic watering is to put them in the sink or the bathtub and soak them and let them go through a couple times a week. But a lot of us now use the ice cube trick. So we do that once a week, the soaking, and then twice a week we put 5 or 6 ice cubes. And why you want to do that is that they can be, if they're a big plant, they can be quite heavy. If you got them on furniture, you don't want the water running out, so it's hard to. Plus you don't want to have to take time off from work just to take care of the poinsettia. So, but 5 or 6 ice cubes twice a week usually will not penetrate the container or if you
go to the bottom,
little bottom, and then you do once a week. You do the soaking.
Now, just out of curiosity, if you talked about having them for a year, are they ever going to outgrow the pot?
Sorry?
Are they ever going to outgrow the pot?
They don't have to.
Oh.
No, in that year they won't. But they can. A lot of folks will, and the article covers this too. A lot of folks will plant them outside.
Okay.
And when the spring gets warm, and then quite often you'll cut them back halfway, and then they'll put some new growth on. But gosh, I've had them last as long as somebody is watching out for them and treasures them. I had my cleaning lady. She favored the plants more than she did the dogs, and so she just kept it alive all year and looking good there on the dining room table, and that can happen, especially these new selections. And then now, Mark, I put in the column that it's easier to get them to rebloom than in the old days, but it's still tough. And I say, well, if anybody wants to explore that topic, let me know. I was telling Milton.
I saw that at the end of the article. I thought that was pretty good.
That was a blunder because the internet had a couple folks, gardeners, say, "Yeah, let's do that. Let's try that. Tell us how you get them to rebloom." So that's something we'll have to explore.
Yeah, I know the outline, the basics, but we'll have to look at it in detail. Basics are we cut them back in September, around the September 22nd. When is that again, Milton? What's the big date? The winter solstice.
That's what I was wondering.
The fall. The fall equinox.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the fall equinox. We just had the winter solstice.
Yeah.
And then you cut them back, and then you hopefully have kept them out of direct and indirect sunlight. If not, a nice big box is allowed.
Oh, that's doable.
Yeah, you just put it over in the morning, and then you get your coffee.
How about a closet?
Huh? Closet's good too.
And how long are you keeping them there?
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. Just water them in the closet?
Yeah, probably a little bit more. More than an amaryllis. Amaryllis we do 4 to 6 weeks back out from Christmas. So mid November. probably, again, we're going to have to look at it in detail, but probably it's about 6 to 8 weeks.
Do you want to ask people to call in if they've had experience with the?
Oh yeah, that'll be.
Yeah.
It's not an easy process, but
no.
a lot of folks have done it.
Well, it's easy. It's not. It's kind of redundant and hard, and you got to remember what to do and lift the box up and put it back on and all that kind of stuff.
The other issues, Milton, with the weather like this, we don't. It's not like we've had a few times where you get your poinsettia and you pick these wonderful ones out at Milburgers or someplace else, and then you put them in your car and you go when you stop at the restaurant, get a snack, and the car gets frozen, and then they're not only sensitive to heat, they're sensitive to cold.
Are we remembering an incident, sir?
Oh. Well, in Minnesota, and I'm sure the same in Michigan, that was a kind of a common winter experience. I was
I remember once that happening. So
people are very careful with getting them from the shop into the car, and then they stop at another store or at the restaurant, and then they forget that they
have a cup of coffee.
Would it help to talk about it, Mark?
Huh?
Would it help you if we talked about it?
I talk about it. I mean, yeah, and then I think once it was stop at Mr. Fable's and for a cake and a coffee. It was around 3 o'clock. So.
Yeah, and what happened to your poinsettia that was...
kind of defoliated.
And you always have the alternative at the end.
The foil paper was still nice.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? Oh, good.
At the end of the process, they're always welcome in the compost pile.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. You also have to watch out for you don't want them in the heat. The
blower.
Or even the air conditioner with the kind of weather we've had.
See, Milton, you never experienced this because we had to dehumidify the house.
Oh.
So, no, in the wintertime, or humidify. I'm sorry, I'm the opposite.
In the north?
In the north, we have to humidify. Apologize that for everyone.
Or it even is a problem if you have a wonderful display. A lot of people do this and welcoming visitors to the front door, and have a display there, and then somebody will come and kind of talk. Gosh, your house looks nice and everything. Leave the door open in the cold, blast the cold air.
Or the classic goodbye. Time for me to go. And then you got it another 20 minutes later.
Oh, okay.
The door may or may not be open during that period of time.
All right. 210-308-8867. Did you talk about? And I didn't see the article.
What?
I know. Easy, Mark.
Milton is a radio and TV man and computer man.
Yeah, newspaper. Ha! Did you talk about anything else besides poinsettias?
Of course, with the tasks we did. We talked about, Mark, you have what did we mention in the tasks?
So I was just going to say that this week in the garden, it's time for your porterweed, tropical hibiscus, bougainvillea, manivia, plumeria, and other cold, tender plants. We need shelter.
That's right. And
it's going to be coming. You may look at the news, the weather reports, but it sounds like
the porterweed is already...
it's already down.
Translating that 40-degree weather we've had in the 30, whatever it was, 38 degrees.
Yeah, we got the 38, and that's or a little bit lower than 38, and 38 is another magic number. 48, 38, 32.
So I was saying 37 degrees Tuesday night.
Yeah,
I've kind of took using the information that Lulu provided, and I've taken out my porterweeds out of the containers on the patio and out in the backyard, and then I'm going to put them in my new greenhouse when it shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And so she had success with keeping them alive over the winter. They're not the easiest thing, but if you got a situation like a greenhouse where you have heat and you can keep it above 40 degrees when you have the weather drops or in the freezing, you can probably keep those porterweed alive, and then you just replant them or put them out when the spring stabilizes weather. So I think about April 1st would be good. But what else do we have on there, Mark?
Then you also mentioned some of the other subtropicals that we have. The firebush. What else we have? Poincianas, the Esperanzas, and Lantanas.
Was it firebush or fire spike?
No, you had firebush, but fire spike is a good catch. Yeah, we need to protect those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and firebush we generally let go of the. It is sensitive to the cold weather, but it doesn't freeze back. I mean, they drops the leaves and everything, but it'll come back. The roots are fine, and it'll come back next spring.
So that was the bullet point, or the point of the bullet point was some of these will fire up or fire down, and then you just have to wait. Or what we recommend, wait until the last week in February, first week in March, to prune those back because they do provide some shelter.
Very cool.
And food.
Well, and it's everybody, I'm sure you have not forgotten, Milton, to plant all your wildflower seed.
No. Well, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
Did you get some from Santa in a stocking?
No, that would have been fun.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
But especially if you're interested in getting some blue curl in place.
Okay.
Because of that shade tolerance, and it's such a good early pollen nectar plant. So you get, there's a monarch.
Oh, wow.
I'll be darned. And so get that. And if you got a neighbor, hopefully the neighbor that grows the blue curl, they'll have some seed left. All you got to do is, the seed is easy to collect it. Yeah, you just put it in a sack and then they'll let you use that. Or the only other source that I know of is our Native American Seed Company.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, they'll get the seed to you fast. It's inexpensive and works very well. They're very easy to germinate. And it's one of those shade-tolerant wildflowers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. I'm going to let Alex sit in after this for about one break, and we'll be back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. I'm Milton Glueck. Hey, some just news from the show here. I'm going to be retiring, and the guys will still be here doing all the stuff.
Say it, no.
It's great, and Alex is going to is learning the trades here, so he is going to be we're going to keep switching back and forth today, so I'm going to throw it to him. Alex, take it away.
Appreciate it, Milton. Thank you so much. It's a lot of big shoes to fill right now, but thank you again with the Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Again, my name's Alex Escobar. Here we're with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson.
Thanks. Welcome, Alex.
Welcome, Alex.
We appreciate it.
We won't give you too hard of a time.
Yeah.
We promise.
Well, we'll have to practice. Yeah, being nice.
Yeah, I know.
Now that Milton's leaving.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be so hard.
Yeah, I know. It's something we're not used to.
Alex and we won't be too hard, but Milton was really good at bouncing things off, and so we hope that you'll do an excellent job. I know you and Milton have been conversing behind the scenes.
We have.
On how to handle both Calvin and I and the patter on the radio.
Yeah, so
And some good gardening stuff. Calvin is always one, where Milton and I would be talking about something, and it goes, and some lovely flowers and plants over here. So it's always good to get his back
Well, I
on
was
track.
just going to ask Alex where he got his horticulture degree. That's not being nice, is it?
No. You're being very inquisitive. I think that other person doesn't have one, but
Yeah, he has.
He likes, instead of green, he likes the colors orange, I guess. So that leads me to
Milton studied English. Did you?
where did you study, or did you study, or did you come through the ranks?
I studied communications over at Our Lady of the Lake University.
Oh, yes.
Which university?
Our
Our
Lady.
Lady of the Lake. OLLU.
That's
Oh,
correct,
okay.
yes.
I used to do some work, consulting work over there for them.
Yeah, but now they won't even let him on the.
No, they won't. No,
I think they have your face
They-
around saying "Do not let him
Yeah.
enter." So.
Yeah, they have the gates locked. But it was some of the plants. I didn't have anything to do with the fire people. And that was not me. But also, what to do with the birds on the island.
That's right, the Island of Birds. I believe it's still there.
Yeah, they're still there. They can't really do anything because they are migratory birds.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of how to minimize their damage on plants, at least.
So today of course, the topics are the holidays, and we've been talking about the column in the Express News, which is about the poinsettia, which is one of the most popular.
The premier plant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you almost don't have to say. You just go poinsettia, and everyone knows. Oh, it's Christmas time, and here you want a poinsettia or in memory of your loved ones. I know lots of churches do that. They have the ability to purchase the poinsettias in memory of their loved ones at the church in the front. And then they're allowed to or encouraged to take those home. And then what do you do?
Yeah. Again, then you take care of them, and then they can last as long as you want them to last, as long as you give them some minimal care, and that's what the column considers. On the television, there have been lots of holiday specials and the choir singing and things. And always there's a spectacular display of poinsettia
Right,
there.
on the side, or the camera comes and fades in, or fades out, and then comes back to that location, and then fades to either the program or the choir singers or the personality involved.
So we will. Today we'll talk about have we got any plants on sale, Mark, today?
I do not know. I did not bring my hard copy, but we're going to give him a task right now. It's a any plants on sale, Alex? He's looking. At But I had thought to bring my hard copy for just this moment. I can tell you that probably all the Christmas decorations. Any kind of
Christmas decor is 75% off.
wow, 75. Not 100%.
No,
that wasn't
no.
me. No, that wasn't-
Points
If you're
and,
fast enough, but
The poinsettias that are left are 50% off.
holiday cactus 50% off.
Okay, Christmas cactus, and
Another.
and then I suspect that we'll check to verify this, but I suspect that we're still the snapdragons and our pansies and violas.
Pansies on sale for $5.
Yeah. Gosh, those pansies look good. Now
Onions.
that's kind of
that is the traditional cool season.
that's a classic.
color. We
One we don't have to really protect from the cold, they always seem to make it through. And then there's the close cousins, the violas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can see them. I mean, just the yellow, the purple, that orange,
Yeah.
white, lots of colors, and then combination colors there.
I was just gonna, did we just get some of the purple? That seemed to be new, or the yellow.
Boy, there's a lot of purples, a couple of different versions.
Very, very vibrant.
And then of course we'll continue to talk about our other plants, the perennials. We're always real interested in the butterflies, and we've still got a few monarchs flying around here, and the red admirals, and they seem to be after the nectar in the dianthus, calandulas, and a lot of the lantanas are still blooming here, and
Yes, I noticed that the last week, and I was like, "Oh, look at all this," because we were talking about. I think Milton asked blooming perennials, and I said, "Well, we still got lantana, we got salvia greggii, some of the tropical milkweed,
Turk's cap."
and Turk's cap." And I don't know, it looks like a little bit of mist flower over on the far side. So that'd be really good. So I got to tell the story real quick. From the Book of Faces this morning, they had a young woman come on and say, the monarchs are dying. They're going to all die unless you all plant milkweed.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is that? What is that?
I don't know. It was something that just popped up on my Facebook this morning as I was scrolling through. Sorry.
Well, we are a little more cautious on that.
Yeah.
The monarchs. I've got some confidence that the monarchs have. They're getting challenged, and the populations are fluctuating, but they seem to be adjusting, and they seem to be responding. But of course, you can't go wrong by getting some native milkweed planted.
And my response on I commented on it that I said, plant nectar sources or nectar plants. That's the key thing. It's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, and so I was looking over there, Mark, at the bulbine. Is that the bulbine over there?
I think in the front, yeah. So that orangey yellow one is that. Now they come in orange and they do come in yellow. So that one kind of looks like a combination of the two, or maybe just a mixture of the two. But they're now they're in the aloe family, so they're a little sensitive. They may not like this 38, but they're not going to die. They can go down to 28.
I was noticing in my garden that the butterflies have adjusted to the lack of zinnias and mistflower available right now, and they're even they're going to the dianthus, and also they were going to the snapdragons, which is not something that I usually see.
Not during this period.
Yeah.
The snapdragons, what we say here is nice fall color, kind of a waiting period.
Cut flowers.
Yeah, and then come back in the spring. So there's a little waiting period right now.
Calandulas, though, are a good nectar source.
Yes.
If you
and I usually forget about them, but they are excellent.
And they do well in the cut flower garden, too. So that's a good choice. Let's see. I'm looking over at the other flowers. Well, there are even some stalks over there.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't smell
They
any.
have been kind of pruned back, so they're not.
That's why.
Not as showy as they will be. They kind of sprout up in the fall. It's just like the snapdragons do too. And of course, they have the wonderful fragrance. Now, the one that does look really good and has a wonderful fragrance. Over there is the alyssum.
And that's one of my favorite flowers, particularly during the cool season, because the bees really love it. And so bees are normally a little dormant right now, European bees, but they when they wake up, they're really desperate, and they like blue curl and they like alyssum.
Well, and my favorite spot for an alyssum is if you've got a container that's about a 12-inch diameter top. You plant one in there, and it'll fill that up, and it'll stay blooming all through the winter. And of course, the fragrance and the white color. There's some purple too, but the white is the one that is the steadiest bloomer.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the purple's really nice, but the white is traditional. I used to remember it always at home, but that was always early spring. But the alyssum was out.
Alex, you got any questions?
Not at the moment, but speaking of bees, I do have a lot of bees around our house. We have some silverleaf purple sage that they really love to go around.
Yes.
Now, are you going to assume Milton's affection for the Texas sage, the what's another name for it?
Cenizo.
Cenizo, yeah.
Or Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
It goes by lots of different names.
Okay.
But yes, the other person seems to have a great affinity, do I dare say love, for the Cenizo.
And it is he uses every opportunity he has to irritate us with it. Yeah. Advocates.
I'm sorry, he doesn't irritate. No, he advocates.
Oh,
big advocator.
A big advocator on that. So yes, now I will admit, I have grown more in line with the concept of that the Cenizo flowers before rain falls. Or just before rain falls. Yes. This past year, I've seen more and more evidence, empirical evidence. Now, in the last couple of times, however, they may have bloomed, but we didn't get any rainfall, or didn't get misting.
I think, Mark, that it's in that same league with the monarch survival thing. It's not an absolute, but it's. I'm kind of with you on that. It's generally you're not going wrong by listening or watching the Cenizo and expecting it to rain after it blooms. Now this few years have been so challenging, though, and the rainfall has been so erratic that we have to take every hope there is.
So the classic would be if you start seeing the Cenizo bloom on a Friday and Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and your watering day would be Monday. So you could say, "Well, I know it's going to rain, so I don't have to water on Monday." Mm-hmm. How does that work out for you? There seems to be a negatory response on that.
Yeah, you can sure tell that Karen Guz was here for a weekend because, it's like we all work for Sawest again. She has this influence.
Yeah.
She does. She's retiring, and we want to thank her for her years of service and also her success.
Yeah.
And
I'm
continuing the success in water conservation.
I just noticed something that we know that Karen is retiring, and we just heard Milton is retiring.
What do you suppose that means?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just applying some conspiracy theory out there.
It's
A national tour? of water conservation, Milton and Karen, going on the road.
Oh,
Well, let's conspire about that a little later. 210-308-8867. We're taking your calls at 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. This is Alex Escobar again, filling in for Milton. He'll be back at the top of the hour. I'm here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. As a reminder, Christmas is over, but you can also bring your Christmas trees back for recycling here at Milberger's up until January 16th.
Is that when it is? We didn't know
Yes.
Last weekend.
Yes,
so
it's
January 16th.
Yes, on their website. Yes, January 16th. Remember, remove all ornaments.
Yes.
Yes.
well,
In all metalware, if any exists.
Yes.
and one of the neatest things about that recycling, they'll take any tree that's fits those requirements, and they use the material. They'll bring in the equipment to do the grinding up the trees, and then they use that organic material for you might see it in the some of the plants in the following year. So there'll be a nice pile in the back, and so I think that's part of the real worthy situation in terms of bringing that plant in. Don't just toss it. You make sure it gets recycled and used successfully. And one of the best ways is to bring it in here to Milberger's and let them grind it up for you. And the other thing is, you get a gift certificate.
That's right. It's a 20% off coupon.
How long does it last? Do you know, Alex?
That I'm not too sure on.
Okay.
If it's a long time, or if it's all year, or what?
No, it's
or
not.
Until June 1st, maybe 6 months. I don't know. We'll look into it. But a great deal. All you have to do is bring in the tree. It's ground up, and you get a 20% off.
You know, talking about that topic makes me think about the article that we had on the New Year's resolution, potential New Year's resolution for gardeners. We had a pretty extensive article and talked about a lot of neat issues. The main point was that the gardeners, how long does it last?
Let's see.
There, we're looking at that
regularly
right now.
priced merchandise purchased by February 28th.
Okay, you got the whole February. That'll be
That's
neat.
right.
That'll give you. February is one of the best gardening months.
Yes.
You get access to.
Yeah, we're getting our tomatoes in, maybe.
That's right.
About that time.
In fact, we're scheduled.
At the latter part of the month.
We've scheduled the rodeo tomato class, and again, that's the one we'll have to. I think it's the second Saturday in February, and then the third Saturday there'll be another one at the Education Resource Center for the rodeo tomato, and that'd be a great opportunity when you come in here to see the class and take it back. You know, after you've brought in your tree to get it ground up, and you got a 20% certificate. But that the topic, the resolutions. Gardeners are qualified because of their involvement with the environment and with plant life and life in general to do some really important environmental work, and not just environmental work, but work important for the community. And so that we'd like to spend a lot of time on talking about what those causes are, what those opportunities are. The neat thing is that a lot of those opportunities, in addition to being valuable to our community, they are also fun, educational, important activities for the gardener.
Absolutely.
So
I can think of all the ones that I belong to, and encourage other people to join. They have great desserts. That's my main focus.
Okay, you're talking about joining
the San
gardening
Antonio
volunteers.
Yes, the gardening volunteers, South Texas, and the men's garden club. They always have delicious.
And of course,
treats.
the men's garden club is at least 50% of approximately 50% of the membership is women, and we do have a man that is president now, but the past president was a woman.
Over the last decade, we probably had two or three.
Oh yeah,
women. Well, leadership positions. Let's just put it that.
Yeah, and so that's and they're an action organization too, just like a lot of the garden clubs here in the area, in the district in San Antonio specifically. And we talk about the gardeners. There's an obligation, I think, to comply with our water conservation rules and protect our water resources. And that obligation, part of it comes because the good news is that the gardeners have had a lot of input into setting up the rules for water conservation. And the rules are protect the resource, are fair, they protect the landscape industry, which is important, and of course they deal with all the environmental concerns that we have for the community too. So keep that in mind. Learn what those water restrictions. I wish we were having heavy rains.
Yes, I know. I woke up this morning going, "Oh, it's raining. It's a Christmas miracle. It's raining." And
so what?
No.
Was it your imagination?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But certainly it'll get rain once again. But in the meantime, we got to comply. And of course, we don't want to waste any water, even when we got plenty of it. And right now, we don't have plenty of it.
Right.
So you use it. And again, the important part of that compliance is to participate in making sure that the rules are the rules that meet the needs of the community. And that can be done working directly with the SAWS committees.
Right. So there are a couple of SAWS committees. There's a citizen. Oh, I forget what that one is. Or it's the Community Conservation Committee. That's one that's run almost in conjunction with the Conservation Department. And there's another one that's in conjunction with I forget that department. That was the department you were ahead of.
Water conservation, the water resources.
Water resources. And I can't remember that name, but that's another one that helps with the rates. So, but there's opportunities there for citizen input. But you know what? There's just regular citizen input is well respected within SAWS Conservation and SAWS organization proper.
Yeah, just responding to internet communications, articles in the newspaper, any kind of elected officials that have made a statement and either supporting or questioning the statement on water conservation. That's an important task too. We've been lucky. We've had some pretty heroic elected officials that have been knowledgeable about water conservation, and they've been willing to go to battle, willing to do their homework, and we've come up with some rules that are pretty acceptable. They're not exactly the way we would want them. It would be great if we could water everything we wanted, and but that's not the case, and so we just have to live with some of those rules. Another one, Mark, that we've talked a lot about is how important the gardening is to the young people, to children.
Well, yeah, if David was here, he would wax eloquently on the children's garden over the Botanical Center. He's been involved with that for many years. But I have seen the bright, shiny little faces that when they're growing their stuff, and the first harvest is quite interesting. They're very excited about that first harvest that they have. But what we found is that those lessons learned in the garden in your childhood, continues on throughout your teens and then your adult. Those same kind of lessons of learning about nature and conservation and all that other stuff.
Yeah, our the technical research, even some of it that we've conducted in San Antonio, but research that's been conducted all through the nation and the world, indicates that young people that have had the opportunity to garden, they have a better feeling about their life, a better feeling about more success in school, and it is an important addition in not a difficult situation either. I mean, it's easy to give them an opportunity, and we do a lot of that here in San Antonio. So you can, if you're a gardener looking for some resolution and some volunteer service, look at your local school, your church activities. There's a lot of churches that have gardens, and they have opportunities for youngsters, and get involved with that. It's a wonderful area, and the rewards are so important for the long-term benefits of our community. So it's one of many resolutions, and we've got that long list of. Alex, can you think of any that since you've been?
I was going to ask him, Lena.
What is
Alex? That? Are you a native San Antonian?
I am born and raised here for 29 years. So.
Oh.
What now?
29 years I've been here, born and raised.
Yeah. So that's why I was like looking at him.
We've been doing the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Grew up with the show. No,
I was so that's how I was like thinking. Have you heard of any of these in your lifetime? Any of these groups? San Antonio Men's Garden Club, the Gardening Volunteers, Master Gardeners.
I don't believe I have. No, I haven't.
There's some active garden clubs on the northwest and far west side of town. Mm-hmm. So didn't know if you had heard of any.
I haven't. I'm more central near downtown, west of downtown. But
okay.
Well, and let's encourage gardeners out there now. If you've got some other ideas on these issues or resolutions for the new year that you want to give, some recommendations you want to give to your fellow gardeners. Why don't you do this? Or here's some opportunities to participate. We talked about the youth opportunities. Every year, a bunch of people retire, and they need some opportunities in gardening exactly where they can get it.
Absolutely. Well, let's get some calls in.
What's that music mean?
Yes, music. We're going to break real quick. I'll be right back. Give us a call 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867 with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck sitting in for Alex Escobar, talking to you about gardening with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, who's just wandering around aimlessly. Is Mark okay?
I don't know.
Let's see.
He's coming in the right direction.
Let's see when he hears his name called.
Yeah.
But our phone number, 210-308-8867. I think you heard it. And we encourage you. We want to hear what's going on, maybe what you got for Christmas in the gardening world, and maybe you want to know what to do with it. So 210-308-8867.
You know what Mark was doing was over there looking at the veggies.
Oh, the veggies, yeah. Let's talk about that. And then I have a comment to make.
I was looking at veggies and the annual color. Calvin was correct. We got a lot of color out there. A lot of pansies. The snapdragons are on sale.
Yeah.
And I always say that snapdragons have a fall color, and then they kind of go to a little sleep during January, and then they come back in February and March. So.
No, they and they're fighting to come back. I put some by that mailbox, remember?
Yeah.
And they didn't do very well, but either they've just established their roots now they're doing better, or...
Well, they don't like 85-degree temperatures either.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, James is on the line at 210-308-8867. Hi, James. Welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. How you doing today? What's going on?
I picked about 10, 12 pounds of tomatoes this morning in the hoop house.
Wow.
As Calvin would say, oofta.
What varieties, James?
Yeah, that was it.
Well, part of them were celebrities, and then there's a couple of celebrity plus in there.
So mostly celebrities, huh?
Yeah, but what happened was the grasshoppers kind of chewed on the part of the tomato that's attached to the plant right around that collar, that shoulder.
On all these tomatoes?
No, about half of them, and left kind of like a wound where they had chewed the skin.
Now that's one of the disadvantages.
I got a sharp knife. I can fix that.
That's a disadvantage of having this nice warm weather. Is the grasshoppers are active and big and aggressive, and so who would think we would find them when it's almost January? Yeah. Where's the cold weather when we need it? Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah.
And those plants are still flowering and putting on little green tomatoes.
How about your greens, your veggies, like the Swiss chard and broccoli and the cauliflower and cabbage?
Oh, the cabbages are starting to head up, and those late flat Dutch are almost 35 inches across, man. The plants, and then the heads are probably a foot wide.
Yeah,
the Swiss chard is going crazy.
The
beets are going crazy.
The beets are?
I got carrots. Yeah, I got carrots. I need to do something with those carrots, and the beets are going crazy. And the cilantro's doing well. Everything's doing good. We could just use a rain, and everything would be doing better.
That's for sure. For sure.
I wanted to do some baby beets in the spring for pickling, and it's either they've got a seed out there called baby beets. Johnny's has got it, and it's a well-proportioned small beet. I was wondering if any of you guys ever grew that one.
No, it's of course, I'm not a big beet fan to begin with, but I don't think I've ever heard of the baby beet. Have you?
No, but I have eaten a lot of baby beets.
Oh.
One of my favorite salads is just pickled beets.
Just pickled beets?
Yep, just a sauce, a little dish of pickled beets are wonderful. Wow, good for you and tasty. And some of the area restaurants do a really good job with those. So, yeah, it makes me hungry just thinking about it. I've got a few beets, but carrots and beets have not been my most successful vegetables. The English peas, the peas you can pick and eat the whole shells are finally really coming along. What are they called, Mark?
Well, you got sugar snaps.
Sugar snaps.
Sugar snaps and some snow peas, but sugar snaps are probably the more popular ones.
Yeah. Boy, they taste
Yeah, my
good,
sugar
too.
snaps are starting to come in. Finally, I guess it's the age of the plant, and they're finally getting some cooler weather or coolish weather.
Yeah, all weather dependent on those.
It should.
One way or the other.
Yeah,
either too cold or too warm. So we've been doing too warm for those.
Even the sweet peas are pretty close to. I mean, the flower sweet peas are pretty close to blooming. So I'm real happy with that progress. That means, let's see, if they could start blooming about January, middle of January, then we'd have, 4 or 5 months of the. That's another great fragrant plant to go along with our stocks and our alyssum. And very, very attractive colors, too.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some of that baby beet seed from Johnny's, and I was thinking maybe the middle of February would be a good time to get started. I was wondering what you guys thought on.
I'm thinking you could even do it a little sooner, but it's going to be weather dependent again. So if we're experiencing weather like this, you may want to do it a little sooner. If we get some cold weather eventually, yeah, you can. Middle of February sounds good.
Well, they're a 40, 50-day beet, so they get up and go. And at the end of that time, I ought to have enough for a few jars of pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll want us to taste those.
I could bring
Mark's share, and
over.
I'll take care of those.
Do you still have that big tomato contest in June?
No, we're not. Yeah, we haven't scheduled it.
We haven't done it for a couple of years.
I could probably bring a big tomato and a jar of those beet pickles with me when I came over.
All right.
The doctor was talking about water conservation, and it's kind of hard to think about conservation when you go by the H-E-B store and their irrigation is running a river out in the road. You know, it's like, well, if they don't care, why should I care?
Well, actually, well, the question is, do they? I think they do care about water conservation, but they also really care about their customer and their citizens' reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more blunt. They're complaining to other higher ups. So that's the public relations are almost more important to them.
Now, I've gone through the years that, when I was involved with SAWS and water conservation, there have been some companies that have been, I thought of it, that were less than responsive, but most of the companies in this area, the areas around San Antonio and San Antonio, are pretty understanding. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the conservation program has been so successful. Is everybody realizes you can't do much if you don't have water.
Right, and it takes some companies we won't mention who, but some commercial accounts, they were located, their headquarters or where they pay their bills are located in Idaho or Utah. And it was tough getting some responses from those. But once they saw the bills, then it was quite quickly they would call us up and try to find out how to reduce that bill.
And James, we also have to remind everybody too that for a number of years, HEB was one of the primary supporters of the water conservation effort.
So and
well, they need to fix the irrigation.
If you let us know if you want us to contact them, or you contact them, they would probably jump at it. Say, "Oh no, sorry."
But I agree with they should do something with your original statement.
Well,
that water was running off in the road, and I could have irrigated my vegetable crops for a week with what I saw going down the gutter. It was really like, that's not right.
Well, here's a shout out to the HEB managers. It's interesting that the individual managers, the managers for the individual stores have a lot of power, and they certainly can change things.
Well, those irrigation systems, they come on automatic, and there's nobody in charge of going out there and checking things, and it's, I guess you got to just raise Cain with them and tell them they're running water in the street.
You put your finger on the main culprit right there. It's an automatic system, and nobody checks it.
Well, but nowadays, one of the significant things that happened just this week, the last new
the new electronic meters.
Yeah, the meters was put in place, and so if you see a pattern, an unusual pattern of water use, you within 2 days or so, you get word on it. Mm-hmm. Just ask me.
Yeah. Calvin,
have
you experienced the electronic meter?
5 gallons an hour, Calvin, is unexpected water. And
what was the cause of that, sir?
Well, that's what we're still trying to figure out. But that is, you're right, it's an ongoing effort. And even, Mark, when we did all that effort on water conservation, which they continue to do, the systems don't work perfect forever.
No,
you gotta keep monitoring them. You gotta keep repairing them. It is a ongoing responsibility and an ongoing effort.
Well, that's why, James, I loved when you said that it's the controller. A lot of times the controllers are made, not all of them, but a lot of them are made out in the Southwest and in Utah. And
Mark's sure into blaming Utah.
Yeah, I know. I'm like blaming Utah. It just so happens I've experienced with a lot of these manufacturers.
We're going to play their basketball team tonight, Mark.
Well, good. Well, I hope we whip them. But if things do go wrong, and it's not always if, it's a when on these controllers, they go back to basic mode. And that basic mode was programmed in the Southwest and in Utah. So lots of times what they'll do is they'll go back to every other day, 50 minutes or something like that, something outrageous. So yes, I like to blame other people. Yeah. But anyway, James, thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks for the report. That was great on the veggies and all. And
okay,
let us know about those beets. That sound pretty fascinating.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, James. Thanks
Happy
so
New
much.
Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year's, James. 210-308-8867. We have Jan having a question about redbud tree. Jan, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's Dan, but
Dan.
that's
Dan,
okay.
apologies for that.
Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi. We just moved to Texas about 6 years ago. We had a redbud tree in our front yard and had a beautiful spread on it. It's beautiful in the springtime, but it died. And so we had to have it taken out, and now we want to replace it, but we don't know what to replace it with. It was spread out, provided the only shade we have in our front yard, but it had quite a spread on it, and we don't really know what to do to replace it.
All right, I'm going to ask one question, then pass it on over to Calvin. If you could describe the flowers, were they light pink or dark purple?
Well, when they first started to bloom, they'd be the purple.
Oh.
And then as they budded out, then the color would change.
Okay, that changes my opinion. So now I have to rethink my opinion. What do you think?
Well, the usual reason for losing a redbud. Now they don't last forever. Redbuds are not a live oak that lasts for 200 years, but they
right.
If you get 12 years out of them, that's pretty good.
There are some selections that really have a beautiful bloom, but that don't respond to our erratic rain and heat as well as some of the others. But if you replace it, I'd look at the Oklahoma, Texas selections, and they usually last for a long time and can put up with our more. I was going to say full sun, but you don't really need full sun with the redbud. They'll perform well even in partial sun.
So my question was based on that. An more eastern redbud will have a lighter pink, and Oklahoma redbuds will have a darker pink, a dark pink, or a purplish tinge to it. And so I was almost going to say for certain that you had a light pink, you had an eastern redbud, but no, if it's purplish, then it would have been more of a Texas or Oklahoma redbud, which is what you want. You want a nice, big, glossy-leaved one.
Yeah.
And when we say Texas or Oklahoma, it just depends on which side of the Red River you're on. This side of the Red River, it's a Texas redbud. If you're on the other side, it's an Oklahoma redbud. But essentially, it's the same tree.
You know, one of the things that the heat and the drought, once they're established, doesn't really bother them much. But the freeze damage, we had some freeze damage
you may
last
have
few years.
Yeah, you may have seen some cracks, vertical cracks along the side of it, and that is freeze damage.
So there's not much you can do on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you didn't want to do a redbud, although I would encourage you to do one, you have some other choices. Mexican plum, that's for the fruit again. I'm just going that, or another pea plant, otherwise known as the Texas mountain laurel. That's very xeric. What else?
Well, that's a full sun one.
Yeah.
The thing always fascinates me is this redbud, is that it kind of sneaks when it's blooming. It kind of sneaks outside. It's growing in the tree border, and the edge, and then you never notice it until it blooms in the spring, and it's pretty spectacular.
There's Mexican Buckeye is another one.
Yeah.
Mexican Buckeye. Okay.
That will require a little training to keep it a single front.
I vote for the Texas
redbud.
Redbud, yeah.
Okay.
They grow pretty fast too.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's what we need. We have zero shade in our front yard now.
Oh.
And the neighbors everybody in our neighborhood really liked seeing that tree and the color changes and stuff. And now there's nothing there.
Yeah. It is a relatively short-lived tree, i.e., that's about 12 to 15 years. Or 10.
Yeah, well, that's about how long it had been there, I guess, because that's the age of the house. And I figure it was put there early on.
So that's not unusual, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate the information. I'm going to look into all of this. And if I come out to Milberger's, can I kind of get a little more, or have you help me select something?
Yeah, well, you can come up to the porch and talk to us about it. And then you can also see some of the specimens. They probably have 10 and 15-gallon selections for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not fully committing on that, but I pretty much, those are some very common nursery trees, and so we'd probably have.
And I'll do a little more research on them too.
All right.
We'll chat too, and we'll see if we can announce it either today or tomorrow what we've got.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We'll be back shortly with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. This is Alex Escobar. I'm here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson.
Okay, Milton, you got a report on the redbud?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter said that that they would be coming in after January 1st. So my suggestion would be to call the wish line at 210-497-3760.
So it's not in front of you. So did you remember it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
497-3760. And
I
just tell them you want to call when the redbuds come in, and they'll call you.
And I always kind of poo-pooed that idea of the call, but gosh, it's worked very well. Milton has been one of the best examples of it, but lots of gardeners are. That, you're not locked into it, but they let you know when they're coming and what's here and when you have to make a decision on it. And plus it helps Milberger staff know what the high demand plants are too. So the Mark, the redbuds, if they come in January, what about tree planting right now and in January?
So right now is an excellent time to plant anything, probably. Anything from a tree to a perennial. You could actually do grass, but we don't usually recommend right now slay sod. But what we want to do is we want to get the roots established before the summer drought and heat come up. So now is an excellent time for that. And excuse me, tree roots and plant roots do not stop growing in the south, albeit very slowly. So they're still growing right now, even though they may not have any leaves on it. The roots are still moving right along, so it gets established.
If we get a freeze, that's not a threat to a newly planted.
No. We get a lot of calls on that, particularly from folks moving into this area, that they worry about their plants, that they're going to be planted about cold. And no, we don't worry about that here.
I think that was one of my questions. We have a live oak we just planted back in May.
Correct.
And it's
in this past May.
This past May, yes.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's still maybe about 2 feet tall, but
okay.
I think that was just my one.
The best optimum size historically, and science has kind of confirmed that, is about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. So
diameter of the
diameter of, I'm sorry, not 1.5 inches tall, 1.5 on the diameter. Frequently you'll see DBH, that's diameter breast height. But in most nurseries, they'll be at the 6 to 12 inches above the ground is where they take the diameter, and but that's been shown over and over again that the smaller ones grow the fastest over time. So you look at a 4-inch and an inch and a half one over 5 years. Guess which one is bigger? Is the inch and a half one.
Yeah. You know, that brings up, I do that Q&A, question and answer column for Floresville, New Braunfels, and some of the other newspapers in the area. And one of the questions that came in was they had a neighbor who, in their area, they don't have much soil. And so they were worried about or wondering if it was going to be successful because the neighbor dug the shallow hole as far deep as he could, but then he put it in that shallow hole and then he mounded the soil. And he made a trough. And that said that it sounds like something we have described as a good route.
But be a listener. Yeah. And what did they say? Did it survive or didn't it survive, or is it ongoing?
Just planted it.
Oh, okay.
And it sounded like the neighbor says, well, will that work? Can I get away with that?
Yeah.
And we've had great, I think our area has great response with that kind of a planting.
Yeah. And I would always encourage a smaller is better on those limited soil, shallow soil.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
You get that, or if you get it bigger, you're going to have to, and then the watering becomes a real requirement.
Immediate gratification is not always good. Sometimes it's not practical.
And you don't. The other thing I mentioned to them was the watering. You got your choice. That might be most desirable to plant a smaller version, but you should be successful as long as you keep that trough, you keep that plant watered, and that you're protected from. I was just reminded of all that deer activity in my neighborhood. If you protected those newly planted trees from the deer and also from things like string mowers. I've seen so many with those wounds on them.
Yes. The most evil equipment in the garden is string trimmer. Yes, water needs to be really consistent those first 3 months, and then the first 9 to 12 months. And then, of course, they can always go and look at the infamous or famous Mark's 3-2-1 method. And I'm really focusing on the first 3 months as well as the next 6 months, or 6 to 8 months following that. So the first year is what I'm really focusing on. It's really important to have consistent watering. You can't have a whole lot and then 3 weeks later have or none and then do it again. You got to be very focused.
Consistency
every week.
And another thing is you don't want that soil up against that trunk. That trough does a couple things for you. That trough makes it a convenient place, an effective place for the watering to hold. And it also reinforces that idea of don't have that soil against the trunk of the tree. Because that just doesn't, in the long term, it does not work. Now, Mark, you had 2 in a row here. You had another one you brought up that is consistent with one of the questions I had in the Q&A. Yeah, one of the questions was, why doesn't they were reading about the grass variety buffalo grass, and why don't more people plant buffalo grass was the question.
Well, well, how did you answer it?
I answered in that it's more effective if it's 200 miles to the west because they mentioned the fact that it was very drought tolerant, and that's true. But the problem is it is not competitive when there is more water available. You get a couple things. Buffalo grass it does not make a thick sod, so when when there's more water available, that space is filled with the weeds, and most likely the weed is Bermuda grass usually.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the one of the things, and then you have to mow it to about 6 inches tall if you want it to compete, which a lot of people are not comfortable with.
A lot of times, the best place to put buffalo grass is in a bed on a slope, south-facing slope. And, you water it just enough to get it established, and then you pretty much stop the watering.
Yeah. Well, we had over at the Botanical Gardens
Right.
for a lot of years. That was kind of the effective place to have it on that southern slope there.
Mm-hmm.
And because it can compete in that kind of a situation.
So, years ago, famous horticulturalist at A&M, I can't remember who it was exactly, was raving about buffalo grass when it first came out. And yes, we were looking at one called Prairie, one called 609, and it was so beautiful. And he looked at it after a few years and going, oh, it's so lovely and lush and full. Well, yeah, it was 90% Bermuda.
Yeah.
And he was describing it, and then he went and looked and went, oh, my. Because, yes, they were taking care of it. They were watering it on a regular basis and adding fertilizer. And, yes, when that happens, the Bermuda will invade.
And buffalo grass also is absolutely full sun. You think Bermuda grass is demanding. Buffalo grass is at least as demanding as Bermuda grass on the full sun too. So that's that's a lot of the reason why we don't grow a lot of buffalo grass.
Now there's a couple of name brands, if you will. Ladybird Johnson, Wildflower Center has one, and Native American Seed has another one. They're mixes of a couple of different seeds. One is, I can't remember. One is Thunder Turf or something like that. But they're mixes of buffalo grass, blue grama, and curly mesquite. And supposedly going to give you a better turf, more even turf, less ability of Bermuda to get into that mix. So that's something to look at. But again, full sun.
And that, though, is probably not a choice for if you're into manicured golf course type grasses. That's one that is a neat, well-groomed look of like a hill country grass that gets plenty of water.
Right.
So
it's got to be tall. Everyone remember that 6 inches is what 6 to 8 inches is what we ideally would love it to be.
So it makes it tough to putt to your golf course, or if you're a 3-year-old to run through the 6-inch grasses. So that's cool.
All right. 210-308-8867. Again, the number is 210-308-8867. We have a couple calls coming in. We're going to take a short break, get to those on Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We have Bert on the line. Bert, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself? Welcome to the club.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Feel very welcome today.
That's great. I would say, which I see the gist of the conversation today is landscaping and water. And about HEB to James, it's like HEB does care because they had a store that the computer went out. Everybody was shopping for Christmas, and there must have been 100, 200, and they gave them all for free because they just said, here, Merry Christmas.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, I saw that in the paper.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
And which store was this?
Well,
I'm not sure. It was in the outskirts.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, like, all right, we're talking HEB. I like them. So that's my go-to store. But for the landscaping, I think somebody sold them a bill of goods years ago about the mist, like the sprinkler things, because I've seen it happen on the one on Austin Highway. It just leaks across way. I would say that they should probably try some pilot stores. One with soaker hoses if they're just going to have sod, and then emitters if they're going to have drip emitters if they're going to have certain plants. And that would conserve a lot of evaporation and the water waste.
Yeah. You know, when I worked for the Texas Forest Service, HEB and I got together and we're figuring out ways to plant the trees in the island or how to develop trees in the islands and the landscape. So if you will notice, all of a sudden you started seeing crushed granite all the way around the edge of the island. And then the center of the island plants or mulch or maybe even grass sometimes. And that was our kind of work together. And we did some sample stores first or to try it out. And that's what if a lot of folks go out there and start looking and seeing these little edges of decomposed granite all the way around the islands, that was some of my work a long time ago. But in conjunction with HEB, we're looking at ways to reduce the water conservation and also increase health of the landscape.
Well, Mark, if you ever get a chance, this is where I conduct my financial business, is RBFCU. And the first one I went to was on Austin Highway down close to the McNay.
Yep.
They just use native plants. Totally. They have no lawn. It's all granite, I believe.
Right. I know that one.
And it's just native plants like and that's what I'm a big proponent of. Wherever I live at on the face of the earth, I always go for native plants. They survive.
Right. And that's a good one too. A nice selection of plants in the front, particularly in the front.
Oh yes. And the other thing is, like, too bad nobody has come up with a industrial commercial type of grade. I was listening to James about a really large Oyas. I just tell James, I don't know how big his operator, if it's a family plot or a little, he sells some on the side and such. But just get some 5-gallon 5-gallon buckets, and then dry it. Like I was saying, that's what I used to water the trees. 3 34th pinholes at the bottom of it, and then you can control the flow. Like you can drill a hole, put a wine cork in it, and just loosen it up every now and then, put it real tight, and just let it seep out on its own by, I guess it's a wicking action between the earth and the water through the bucket.
Yeah, James has a small commercial operation, so he's looking to do different stuff on that. But your idea of Oyas, and that's for the folks out there, O-double-L-A, Oya, is a technique where it's actually just terracotta, unglazed terracotta. And you'd sink that into the ground. You put a little cover on top, but you fill it up with water, and you'd let everything, capillary action, diffuse into the soil. It's used primarily in the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico, California, but it can be used right here in San Antonio, and is being used. What do we call that place? Almost Terrace, not Almost Park. Almost Terrace, which is on the other side of the railroad tracks, literally. And they have a nice community, little garden, and they have some very stylish Oyas from a local ceramicist. I guess that's right. Yeah, ceramicist.
Yeah.
And she made some very nice, cool ones, and I'm thinking about doing a video over there come next spring.
Oh, great! Would you do that? What, on the native plants of Texas, or the other site?
No. Gardening Volunteers of Texas, the Go Gardening video. So it'd be we were going to do it at the end of the year, but never got around to doing it. So I needed to get a hold of both the ceramicist and the person who is actually steward of that particular garden, community garden.
Okay, and Mark, the correct term is a potter.
A potter?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They work with clay.
All right, yes.
And then, Milton, I got something for you yesterday tomorrow, yesterday. I found out about it yesterday. It's about how you were saying last year about people doing those clay pot heaters and such. And I found something with the crock pot. I'll get more into it, and I'll call you tomorrow. Are you going to be here, or when's your final parachute day?
Mark, Milton, he's wondering if you're going to be here tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow.
Yes, Milton will be here tomorrow.
Okay, guys. I hope y'all had a great one with your family and friends. You're welcome. Bye now.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There was you saw me get kind of excited here.
Yeah, there was another monarch.
There's that exotic nose, one of those doves. We used to have, a couple of years ago, we had whole flocks of them showed up here. They're kind of cream colored, and I can't remember what the name of them was. I'll have to look it up. Do you remember, Milton? The doves, the flocks of doves that are not white-winged doves, but they're
collared?
exotic. Collared, yeah.
Collared, or what was the other one? Inca. Yeah, one of those two. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not Inca.
Is it collared?
Collared, I think you're right.
Those are those would be the more rare.
There they are. Oh well, there's at least two of them over there.
Oh, I see them. Yes.
You see them? Gosh, this Milberger. Oh, there's some
another
more
one
coming down. Milberger's is between butterflies and birds. Certified butterfly garden. All the
yes,
blooms.
it is certifiable. Yes.
We are certififiable too. That's why we're here. There is a fence there holding us in. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 210-308.
I don't know which gets me more excited, the birds or the butterflies. And the plants kind of do too. So.
That's true.
Yes, this is the gardening show.
Look at that, Mark. Look at that big gray thing. Wow.
210-308-8867. Again, 210-308-8867.
And what is that again? What's that number 2?
It is to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas, 210-308-8867.
All right.
It's not too late to get a gift certificates. And, of course, one of the best ways to get a gift certificate is to bring, if you're done with your Christmas tree, or when you are done with your Christmas tree, bring it in, and Milberger's will process it, recycle it, and give you a 20% gift certificate that you have until the end of February to use.
Yes,
So
20% off. It'll be good until February 28th.
28th?
And how long are they going for that you can bring them on in? Is there a time limit on that? Can you see it on that?
Yes, bring them in between January 2nd and January 16th.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Usually, how long is the lifespan of a Christmas tree in a home before it starts to really become
a mess?
A mess, yes.
I don't know. It's like, how many licks does it take to go to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
These are...
It's usually June 6th.
June 6th.
These are so much better than the old days.
Yes.
So,
it was somewhere between on that week between the end of after Christmas and the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, with the pines, they would get dry very quickly.
But now they almost every one of them makes it till after the
New Year,
1st of January. Yeah, New Year's.
So traditionally, Epiphany, that's the day, the Three Kings, after that you take down your tree and all the decorations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just traditional.
Well, whose tradition is that?
That was the tradition. Well, no, in our household, we did it, January 1st, the day of New Year's, while Michigan was losing to another Pac-10 team in the Rose Bowl, taking everything down.
But speaking of New Year's Eve, Milburgers will be open 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. They will be closed New Year's Day. Again,
so 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the New Year's
Eve. Yes.
Eve.
New Year's Day, they will be closed.
Yeah.
So you get your plants and then go home to watch Michigan lose to UT. Is that correct, Milton? Yeah, we're in the Citrus Bowl. U of M with UT. Just confirming. Yeah. So you can come in earlier in the afternoon and then later on that evening, watch UT defeat Michigan. Is that, or the other way around?
Well, if we're getting into sports here now.
No. Let's not talk about this past Sunday or past Thursday.
How about tonight when the Spurs play Utah?
Oh, yeah.
At 7 p.m. They'll be here at the Frost Center playing, but it'll also hopefully be televised and you can watch it. And it's pretty exciting to have a winning team now there. It's been. But this is the fifth year since we've had a
lively season.
I wouldn't know about winning teams lately.
Then if you allow me to remind you that the University of Minnesota beat New Mexico.
Yes, I saw that.
In overtime, yeah. So that was another exciting.
And the Gophers were golden that day.
Yeah. For a team that's just slightly more than 50% wins.
Well, I was going to say, that's better because Michigan State didn't even play this year in a bowl. No,
they usually do.
Yeah, we were on the bottom. Our friends on the bottom, namely in Indiana University, were no longer with us. There on the bottom of the Big Ten. They were on the top of the Big Ten. Our fellow bottom sellers were not there, so
it was a bit lonely down there. Now.
It was lonely, very lonely down the cellar.
Okay, so we have, of course, the most spectacular, I think, are these cyclemen. If you have not seen them, this is worthy of a trip to come tomorrow, and.
No, they can come today. They can come by today.
Oh, that's right. We won't be.
We won't be here, but Milburgers will be open.
And then there's the pansies, and their cousins. They're another spectacular set of plants.
So you got the violas are my favorite. Yeah. So they're cousins. They say the smaller version of pansies.
And snapdragons are on sale. And then
calendulas.
What are the ones with the yellow flowers?
The calendulas.
Calendulas. That's a really a showy plant and a good cut flower too. And the pollinators like them. And they last. In my experience, they last as long into the spring, longer into the spring even than pansies, which are usually the ones that last quite.
And what's your phrase on the calendulas? They warm?
Yeah, they have, because of the yellow and golden color, they warm the garden. And of course, we have not had to have anything warmed lately.
Today we could probably use a little warmth in the garden.
We could use the cyclamen they cool the garden, I think, because especially these that combination color, the pink and white there. Wow,
very nice. Well, that wraps it up for today. Thank you again, Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Thank you, Milton. We got one more day with Milton tomorrow. Again, this is Milburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. I'm Alex Escobar. We'll see y'all tomorrow.